Live and into the action here in map number 2. It's Overpass, a map that we haven't seen play out between these two teams in their last two bouts. So a little bit of an interesting one to see what we're going to get here.
Yeah, I mean, last time that Overpass was played by Boss was when they were still under the wildcard moniker, and it was on November 5th, so over a month ago against Anonimo. And that was in Europe, and they lost that one 11-13. So, I mean, close, but they've also had some very one-sided losses on the map, 3 and 6 over the last 3 months. Not great. Let's see if they can turn that around here, and look at this, another great pistol round start. 4 frags combined between Darty and Freshie. Swish your last one, and it's over. What a hold.
Wow. All right. Get Freshie on pistols, apparently, is the story here. Dang. Double aggression into the full stack in the sewer tunnel, and, well, they flush the sewer out. Call them Drano. The way they're unclogging these tunnels.
That was a good one.
Not going to be a force buy in this one either. M80, no bomb plant, no force buy. They'll just take their medicine with the Glocks.
Yeah, Overpass last time it was played by M80 was up against the Party Astronauts. I think we were casting that one. It was a stomping 13-4 by M80. I think they're going for that punish pick again. It isn't a map again that they play that often either. 3 and 3 over the last 3 months, and look at this. Wolfie's just going to churn through a couple of players with the MP9. He gets a third with the USB, almost a fourth, but slaxz finally ends him before Cryptic gets the insta trade. Meg spotted out with his knife out, and Brett says, okay.
He was just hoping they'd overlook long and he'd be able to sneak a bomb plant. That was that whole play. That was a gamble. That was a risk. Doesn't work out. It was all about speed there.
I understand. You know, just trying to get that bomb planted. But at the end of the day, it's not going to happen. And Boss do shut down M80 on a round where they didn't invest anything into, so it's not that big of a deal. Here come the AKs. Wolfie's already got the op up here, and it's a glass cannon. Interesting choice, but I mean, obviously Overpass is a map that he loves to play, and is much more of an opper's paradise than Anubis.
Cryptic. Got the first. Looking for more. Not going to have it. Head ripped from shoulders, but Brett holding on to connector here. That's a big find. Limit the rotations. Keep himself in the middle of the map. Swisher trying to just walk up, see if he can't rock something over onto the B side. He might just do. Good pre-fire from Brett. Connects. And this one's looking like a non-starter here. Brett, his chokehold on the common position could be everything, and he's just continuing to bring these kills through.
That's wild. I mean, I felt like Manx had the advantage too coming around that corner, especially with Peeker's advantage, but Brett still holds it well. He's got the 3K. Malb's the last one standing. 1v4. No bomb on his back. 3 boss players around connector. This is a nigh impossible task for Mr. Malbs. He's going to venture in. Looking around for targets. They're timing so well, and yeah, that's it. Nicely done from Boss, and it's going to be 3-0 in their favor.
Nicely done from Brett, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And not to mention 4 players surviving thanks to Brett, and that was the buy round for M80.
Fully stumped. No bomb plant. No bomb plants yet in this game. Only 3 rounds in, but still gonna start to sting just a little bit. Some Deeg upgrades. Boss have been looking snappy on their fights. They were on Anubis as well.
Yeah,
right?
They were.
A lot of really snappy mechanics. Brett is a little quieter. He was kind of playing as the prod player on B. This time here in Con, gets a lot done.
Rex just spamming away with the Deagle here. Brett actually gets tagged. I'm not sure from where, but he's down to 46 here, so he has to be careful. He's trying to fall back. Freshie's supporting, and he gets dropped by the Deagle of Manx. So Brett, an AK down on the ground. We'll see if that's recoverable. It isn't. M80 are not going to risk it, at least not yet. 4v4, Freshie exposed, down to 19 HP. needs to be careful with how he plays this. He is tucked in to a corner, I would say, into that cubby over in water, but I mean, not very safe and no reinforcements nearby. So if he goes down to dirt, this B site is exceptionally vulnerable. At least information being gained by Boss in the meantime as they're pushing through bathrooms, realizing no one's there, so the rotation will come through to the B site. So at least Wolfie from Heaven will be able to support with the op.
He's playing it very safe, though. Gonna get that shot, gonna get that kill, but if they take down Freshy, it's a bomb plant. Almost certainly.
Not yet.
Ooh, he is on the angle. Never mind, been able to adjust. Not missing much is Wolfie. Much better start here. And it is going to keep the bomb from going on down. Couple blemishes, but nothing they can't shake off.
Yeah, Anubis is not Wolfie's best map. So, I mean, even when they won it up against M80, it was Darty who top right, like I mentioned. So I was expecting Darty or Freshy to perform well, which they did to their credit. And Wolfie at the bottom of the scoreboard wasn't contributing as much as I'm sure he wanted to. But now it's Overpass. And like I said, he's extremely comfortable here. And I expect a much larger contribution from him. 4-0 lead for Boss. This is a fantastic start on their opponent's map pick. I don't think it's the punish that M80 were hoping for.
Still early days, but it's certainly an auspicious start. Up on both sides. Looking like we might get the duel as well. Wolfie's out towards long. slaxz is thinking about it. Thinking about going for a little peek on that. The problem is actually, with this double long setup, there's no control bathrooms. And that's something that M80 are starting to realize. They're taking this ground, that's going to distract Wolfie. Now slaxz goes looking. Cryptic's on the angle, though. Cryptic ready for it.
Angle.
Cheeky angle on top of the rock. That was unexpected entirely. Flashbang lethal, but the op right behind it. Good for the trade. Oh, the aggression, though. The aggression. Freshy was just sprinting out of the monster tunnel. That is ill-advised. I don't know what was going on there. I don't think there's any utility behind it. Just thought they were fully on the other side of the map.
That's not a move you make up 4v3, in my opinion. A little bit of an error there by Freshy.
Seems to be. That's going to draw them closer. Darty just on the other side of this. Brett's been able to get into heaven. That flashbang is brutal. Could not have been more perfectly timed. The bomb now is down. Mal's trying to recover something from nothing. And he's only got 20 seconds to do it. Op watching on high. 2 players down low. This one should be done, but Wolfie's repositioning. He's wary of the flank. Actually, as he comes back in, the shot's going to miss, but Brett's there to correct the mistake. That timing works beautifully for Boss. The flashbang from Brett, that is round saving.
Yeah, I mean, Brett is one of the players that throws the most flashes on the team. Third, in fact, on the squad at 0.660 thrown per round over the last 15. And, I mean, that was one of his best in a while, I have to say. I mean, a perfect pop flash sets Darty up for probably the easiest 2K he's had so far in this series. And a 5-0 lead forces the tactical timeout to be called by M80 because nothing is going their way. Even when a mistake happens, right? Freshy decides to full sprint into Monster, which, of course, not the right decision. Gets taken out immediately by Swisher. It doesn't even matter because of a great follow-up play from Boss. Another timeout. Whoa, that's 2 tactical timeouts in a row. You do not see that very often. There's a lot to be spoken about here. I think Manx is...
This is presumably Def getting his say in. Right? Getting a little extra time to discuss what they're trying to do.
Absolutely.
I mean, look, on the pure fragging output, it's been lackluster. Rec hasn't cracked the board yet. No one's above 2 kills. So, purely on a firepower output, not working. They're letting Boss off the hook in situations where they should be punishing. They're not finding the timings here. There have been a few unfortunate breaks, but they're also just getting outplayed.
I feel like despite the fact that Boss lost that first map, they were the more impressive team firepower-wise. So, I mean, aside from, you know, unfortunately for Wolfie, everyone else was really effective. And you can see that if you go back and look at the scoreboard. I mean, on the M80 side, everyone, they were contributing, but it was more evenly distributed on their side. And then you saw Boss just coming up with these ridiculous mechanical plays and individual efforts. Not to mention their trades have continually been strong.
This is looking like a straight B play. Out the monster tunnel. Timing could be rough here. Freshie, though, takes the first. That's good. Tech9 on. Here's the fours. Spacing's a little rough. They needed to capitalize on Freshie. They need this kill to get a bomb plant. It's not going to happen. Freshie, incredible play around the pillar. Great bullet economy on that. You can't waste shots with the A1S. This might be an overextension, but you know what? Give him the ace. Give him the ace. Let him hunt it down. Freshie putting on a clinic here.
You know what? That's Freshie's style. He makes a mistake and says, hold my beer. I'm going to get an ace here. Nicely done. For the top fragger on this squad. 6-0. And still, I mean, what? You had one frag coming through from Manx. That was it. Again, it was just pistols, but still, it felt like they could have done a little bit more with that type of presence with the Tech-9s. Anyway, 4 AKs and the op coming through. Plenty of time for M80 to get back into this one. They've recovered from worse starts than this. This boost could be very lethal. Yeah. Swisher's on the other side looking for a boost of his own, too.
I mean, you won't actually see anything if they pop up at this point. But it's a 4-man stack in towards the B site. So this is a heavy gamble from Boss. They're putting all the responsibility on Cryptic. I say they. Cryptic's putting all the responsibility
gonna get spotted.
on Cryptic. Is he?
Oh,
Not
he
yet.
was about to walk in the other direction towards Connector, and he turned around at the perfect moment because Darty was going to see his head. Now he gets
He'll hear the
info.
drop. He'll hear the drop. He knows that was a boost now. The question is, do they try and take the space? Wolfie's in the angle right now, but they don't know that Swisher's here. Oh, Wolfie's walking. So much hinges on this. Players taking space out towards long. This could be so punishing from Swisher. But in that same breath, well, now they make the move out. Wolfie gets the kill. Wreck thought it was clear, but didn't have vision into the angle. And now as the hit's trying to come on out on towards A, well, Swisher, he can't be involved in this. 1-for-1 trade. This keeps it in the realm of possibility, but Swisher knifed out. That's a blunder. They were running out of time, and he felt the panic. Bomb's going to be planted. The first bomb plant of the map here for M80.
That's insane, honestly.
But can they hang on to it? Hearing the footsteps, knowing a lot's down on the stairs. slaxz wants to take the initiative. He's got the op out. He's creeping. He's coming looking. Over on the other side, he will not find. Wolfie drops him on down, and it's over. Just too many targets for mobs. No possibility on that one. The flawless run continues here, 7-0.
I appreciate the confidence from slaxz in the AWP in a 2v4 situation, but I almost would have rathered him pick up the AK and try to go for a rifle fight with his teammate, because you're much more likely to get a 2K spray down with the rifle than you are getting 2 quick op shots off on your opponents in that situation. You just saw Boss overloading once they realized that situation, and not to mention Wolfie holding the angle as well. That's some great awareness to give them a 7-0 lead. Here comes another buy-up from M80. Hopefully for their sake it'll yield more than one frag. 4 AKs, the op, Wolfie, peeking. Poking his head around. Darty as well, who will get one. He's trying to get the follow-up, but it is Wolfie who peeks around. That's 2 frags versus only 1 for M80, and a 4v3 advantage, but a light one, because look how lit Darty is, down to 8 HP. The util sailing out from both sides here onto the B site. There's
It's all on Freshie again.
Freshie. Yep.
There's a gap. He's going to push it. He's going to slip it. They're not looking
He's
his
got
way.
this. They have no idea.
It's all about timing now. Wreck. Oh, his bad day continues. He will be dropped. This might secure a bomb plant, but there's 2 players moving in from short. Got time, but they don't have the utility for this. That's the problem. The smoke is up now. They need to get planted while it's here. Otherwise, they're going to have to contend with Wolfie's op in heaven.
slaxz doesn't feel safe for some reason. He's convinced someone's behind him.
I mean, they know there's a player short. They know there's at least one short from the nade that sailed over. So they know a flank's coming eventually. As soon as they tap that bomb down, it's like, okay, do you plant safe from heaven? Well, you're going to get peaked short. Do you plant safe from short? Well, there's an op in heaven. And that makes it a whole lot easier. Now they can plant back at the pillar. That's exactly what they're going to do. Trying to bait it out on the first. Molotov's there, but it's a little early. There's plenty of time for this. And if they realize the second player's here, this bomb can go down comfortably.
My goodness.
Oh, That was the bait in. Finally, a winnable situation here for M80. 20 seconds, and
There
slaxz
it
will
is.
put this one away. They're finally on the board.
That's such a tough situation here for M80, right? Because you were talking about it, the smoke, if it fades, you don't have a clear path to the site. slaxz risks it, says, you know what, we've got to be patient. We're aware of the fact that they have presence at short, so they could come around and swing us monster. He waits and waits and waits, bides his time, and then finds Wolfie at the perfect moment. A wicked shot to bring that down to a 2v2, and afterwards Swisher contributes, make sure that the rifle sings as well, and M80 are able to get a first round. They cracked the goose egg. Now need a lot more. It can't just be one. It has to be a sequence of rounds here for M80, or else this one could be over for them in this first half alone, based upon the differential rounds. We'll see. An isolated round victory is not what they want here. Oh, Cryptic, perfect spot, gets the opening frag, has to be careful to trade. Man, the walls are deeper now here. He's going to go down eventually. Manx gets that trade.
That's huge. That's important.
Yeah.
Now this is going to spread the defense out, right? They've got to contend with both sides. They've got no more information up on top of A. This has been a problem for M80. They've been unable to take control outside of A, unable to threaten. So they wound up in situations where the rotation is quick, and Wolfie, boosted up by the sign, just goes and finds Manx. So proactive here. Meanwhile, M80 are just left twiddling their thumbs.
Boss are so dynamic in their peaks.
It's
Love the boost
aggressive.
as well. Yeah.
It's fantastic. And that allows them to put the third player down here. Molotov goes out early. They're not prepared to go yet. Is there a flashbang for this? Oh, no. Just held on the angle. This is going to be brutal. It's a shutdown. Their one-round win. Looking like it's going to be isolated here. slaxz might try and save the op, but even that's a tough task. And yeah, he's going to back away.
No. I mean, not no to the backing away. No to the fact that this win is going to be isolated. And they might only have the op left standing. slaxz is fighting a little bit. He wants to do that economic damage, but... now that they know where he is, exactly. It's not an important point. Keeping the op is more important at this stage. Even though he doesn't get the loss bonus, he has the body armor. Still full, so he's okay. And the rest of his team can buy up into this round. But yeah, I mean, the isolated round victory is the worst part for M80 because, yes, they can force up here, but the utility is going to be very light. And, I mean, honestly, in terms of the dry fights against Boss have been the better team on Overpass by far.
By far. This feels like one of those situations where you might just want to strip things down. You know, 5-man con play, 5-man B take, 5-man A take. Wow. Because in the defaults, they're getting picked apart. They're losing individual engagements. They're frequently getting caught in the numbers. Something with fewer opportunities for something to go awry.
Yeah.
Could be what the doctor ordered.
Just simplify it. You got to simplify your game when things like this are going wrong. So, I mean, I'm surprised. Well, maybe not that surprised. Mob's going with the Deagle only because he's so good with it. But he wants to do that just to get the util up. So util a lot stronger here for the M80 side as a result. Still 8-1 for Boss. I mean, risking the force buy. I say risking, but they have the full loss bonus, so it's not that big of a deal. You can continue running buys on T side, especially if you can get the plant. But even that's been few and far between for M80. Wolfie holding the angle towards short and sandbags. Here comes that boost. Is this boost going to give information?
Yeah, we saw this setup once before, but there was no one here. There was no one home. They're watching for the boost, I believe. Yeah, they got eyes on. There's the shot. There's the haircut delivered from Manx, but it's a lot of presence, including the bomb spotted. So Boss will be able to keep the boost here. Don't know about going for the peak. They're going to back away. Hail of flashbangs allow these players to get out. Now they're past. Now Wolfie's down. The rifle's there as well. Freshly eliminated. It's up to Brett and Cryptic. And M80. Damage has been done, but they've got to find the kills. Brett trying to find safe haven, trying to stay alive. Let his teammate get activated, but now he is truly alone. And the bomb is planted. And Brett doesn't know which way to turn.
Wow.
There's
Brett
M80
goes down.
finding a little bit of juice, John. I mean, that one, again, maybe it's not the fast play, but they do simplify. 5-man B take, and it works out.
It was very nicely done, too. Lots of presence towards construction in the first parts of the round. You saw they were watching it, although Manx slightly slow to react after the player popped his head up, and he hits the perfect shot. But, I mean, his teammate could have gone down if the aim was a little better on Boss's side before that. It wasn't, so that saves the day. And afterwards, they, like you mentioned, and like we were talking about, they simplified things and went right into the bomb site, won the fights, and Brett got isolated alone. Although Freshie did do a lot of damage, he just couldn't transfer to get that second frag after he found the first one. So a second round found. Again, you know, don't want to have it isolated, but that round was won cleanly, which means their economy is going to be a lot healthier, and the loss bonus is still very good. So it's okay, I guess, if they're isolated here, but what's not okay is the amount of rounds Boss will have if they get a 9th here. At least if you're M80. If you're Boss, it's great.
It is indeed. Pressure on, back into the B take. Relatively straightforward, but this time they shut it down. Mobs can't get anything on the backstab. That's a problem now. Nothing doing here. They've been rebuffed. The bomb is down. Manx eliminated. That's all just on the slaxz. Man, what has happened to Rek in this one? Normally such a dependable piece on the right flank.
Oh my goodness.
He just can't get anything going. I mean, slaxz is flanked up. It's just a matter of time here. Cryptic will seal the deal on this one. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think Rek's the only issue here, to be quite honest. But yeah, it is surprising to see him have a goose egg on the board 11 rounds into this one. The thing is for Boss, again, they isolate the round victory. I liked simplifying it for 1 round by M80, but 2 in a row is a little ambitious, especially given how Boss has played that B site. They went back to that standard setup they had before, and they just demolished M80 at every single turn, who appeared just absolutely committed to pushing smokes into Monster, which is always a bad idea, especially if you're not throwing a flash that's very effective before that. Wolfie, ooh, a little bit exposed there. Doesn't have the head armor. I think he was lucky that didn't take him down. Swisher comes around that corner, tags Freshie, 56, looking for another tag, and in fact a frag.
It's the opener.
By slaxz, yeah.
There's pressure on a Freshie as well. So they've shown this, and look at Mobs. Look at where Mobs is. He's all the way past the defenders. He's got front path control. This is going to get very weird because Cryptic's flanking. Players are coming out of Fountain now. They got to be watching for this. Swisher will be the early warning system, and he pulls the trigger. Patience might have been rewarded. Instead, he goes down. But still, the kills have brought this into an even situation.
Oh, no.
Mobs has to come back. Mobs has to come back, but he wanted to go forward. And now the bomb's been dropped. This is a problem on... I was a little late to react. Wolfie still should, by all rights, get caught off guard here. Question is, what do you do now that he's found it? Get that kill. They're going to duck on down. They pulled the rotation. They're going to risk it on B. It's the right call, perhaps. Heaven smoke coming through. And on they move. Ooh, Freshie's past the molly. Freshie's past the molly, and he's got the shot. Another blinding shot through from Freshie. slaxz doesn't know which way to turn. He's wary. As soon as he plants this bomb, Brett's going to come over. There it is. He hears the footsteps now. He knows where Brett is. The drop's going to have to come out. Shot on. slaxz has got it. A 3rd round at least. A bulwark from M80 for them to build on. But it was desperation. And a brutal half coming through from Boss might just give us a 3-map series. live into the action here. Quite a show from Boss in the first half. M80 unable to get much of anything started until the very waning moments. And now they'll have to try and mount a little bit more here on the defense. They've got the right read in the pistol. 4 players on the right site. But as you've seen in these pistols, none of that matters if Freshy's on the other side.
Indeed. Ooh, that's not a good start, though. Wolfie goes down immediately.
This almost... Is this a designed fake where you face with one player and then tempt them to rotate off?
It feels like it. It feels like it. It's
They're
working.
rotating. This is wild.
This is fantastic.
Wow. Okay. All right. That's a really interesting play. So they set Wolfie up like he's the B-lurk.
Yeah.
Then they rotate. Then they make contact from long. That draws everybody forward. And now you've got the forward position. Now you've got the bomb down. That is a crazy pistol maneuver. And it's worked out. It's all on the slaxz. He's got 3 to find, and it's just not going to happen. That is brilliant coming through from Boss.
I'm almost speechless that we saw this in NA. Like that that's wild. Such great thinking went into that pistol round, right? You talked about it already, but I mean, Wolfie looks like the lurk, and then they send Brett over to long to attract attention the entire time. This is what they want. They have 3 players waiting in the corner of Monster, and then they all push out into the B site as Brett's creating that distraction. And I mean, they walk into the meat grinder on the M80 side when they try to get back onto that site. The Tech-9 just chews right through them. 10-3 for Boss. I mean, the previous pistol round victories were more Freshy just popping off. That one, there was a lot of thought that went into it. And I guess we can see why Boss decided to float Overpass here against M80. They were confident. That's just a great play. That's a play that comes through from practicing again and again on this map.
Yeah, the design of some of these plays has been brilliant. I think we got to start talking about Cryptic more. He's the in-game leader here. He's having a good individual performance, but dang, the design of some of these pistol rounds, just unreal. Pistol round is the ideal time for that kind of a gimmick.
Absolutely.
It's a sacrifice. It's like a game of chess, right? You're sacrificing a bishop so you could take their queen.
Brilliant.
Very much so. Mobs can't get anything done here, but slaxz, we've seen him do it with the scout. Not this time. Haircut delivered, round over, bomb down, save called for M80, and they're just running out of opportunities to do anything with this.
I was gonna say, Mike, I think that was the match, honestly. Like that, I should say the map, not the series, but M80 forced up here, and they're just gonna have pistols into the next round as well. 11-3 could easily be 12-3 for Boston. They'll have 9 opportunities to close this one out. What a performance. Time gonna tick away on that bomb, and it's also ticking away for M80.
I'm still thinking about that pistol round, man.
Yeah, no, it was it was really nice. I love it.
It's so interesting. The big counter to it presumably would be short aggression, where if you spot the player from short, then you know that it's a fake. But yeah, if you're just peeking monster, if you know your opponent just likes to peek monster, it's a big false positive, I guess. Yeah. You're selling them the red herring of Wolfie swinging, and they just take it.
And it doesn't even matter if Wolfie dies in the situation either. Even if Brett dies, it doesn't matter. I mean, Brett being alive helps coming in on the flank, but I mean, the whole plan is to rotate the CTs off the site, which was already happening. Here comes a nade stack. Mobs taking the worst of it, and then he goes down. 5v4 immediately. And again, M80, they decided to force up into this round. That means their economy is going to be in tatters if they don't win this round.
They need to win it here.
They do.
Mob suffering from that Guatemalan ping we were talking about last night. Some of these initiator fights that he's usually so fond of, just not quite working in his favor here. They're rocking out long. slaxz going to be under pressure. All about looking the right way at the right time. If there's a flashbang here, he could be ruined. Oh, they're going to dry swing it. slaxz will get the first. The second as well. All right, slaxz. That's a bomb confirmed. They can get another player over and Swisher. This could be a problem for Boss. They need to deal with slaxz. They know it.
What?
Swisher's got Brett. slaxz eventually will be brought down, but look at the damage he's done onto Darty. Darty with the jump spot. Kind of think better of this. Freshie could catch. Can't. Nade's there. But now the double swing leaves everything onto a wounded Darty. He's headed towards Reckon.
Wreck needs a frag.
Yeah, just give it to him. Just give it to him, Darty. Go through that door. Crack that goose egg.
He's
You
gonna
don't
clear
want
it.
to end on 0.
He's gonna clear it. Oh, he got it!
The kill comes in. Wreck breathes a sigh of relief. I don't know if he's the kind of player who unbinds tab, but you gotta hope he is. He's got his first. And M80, they'll get a chance. I'm gonna tell you a story now, John.
Yes.
Because I was curious
Story
about the
time.
fact that M80 have barely played Overpass. So I went and did a little looking.
Ooh.
And one of their few Overpass games is against the current wildcard roster with Stan, Jaba, and all that.
Infinite. Yeah.
First half, M80 won 1 round. Second half, they lost the pistol. So they were 12-1 down.
Oh.
They took it in overtime, won 19-17.
Stop it.
Not kidding. Legitimately happened. So this is a team that knows something about a comeback, and that was their first time playing Overpass with slaxz.
No, like,
Best of my
I'm telling
knowledge.
you, like they're very resilient. They're very capable of coming back, but it just feels like Boss are playing so very well right now. I don't know. Look, like
It would
you
be
said,
wild.
Anything
It would
could
truly be
happen.
wild. I'm just saying this is a team that knows it's never over till it's over.
No doubt. Did pull off that surprising round victory in the previous one, so it's a start. At least keeps Boss off of map point. Brett jiggling back and forth. No audio cue. Just trying to keep that movement up. He's the only one here towards short A, so he's hoping for a rotation or a push to come towards connector. Freshie. Slipping through. Good flash thrown. Wreck is like a pogo stick right now, jumping up and down over at Toxic. And eventually he ducks down. Now wants to have a peek over the top of the smoke. Great setup at the B site. Swisher and Pit. Wreck over on Toxic and Mangs at graffiti. Flashbang goes in. It's a good one, but Wreck manages to get the opening shot and frag fired. Freshie.
Let Rec warm up.
Yeah, he got
Shouldn't
one.
have let
Now he's got
Rec
the
warm
second.
up. Brett's out on the dice. Brett's out on the dice. Util out. Oh, unfortunate. Didn't realize there was a player forward. They're able to draw mobs. The slaxz brawling. slaxz fighting here. Gonna set up his teammate as well, and it's all on a Wolfie. Wolfie will try and run this kill down, but it's just not happening. 3 players survive again, and M80, they've cracked the money for Boss.
Uh-oh. Rex activated. He's getting frags now. Got two. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean or anything. But he's got a frag in the last 2 rounds. So that's good. 1 in each. And we'll see if he can continue to contribute. Here it's Boss full Glocks. Nothing bought up. This round should be a gimme for M80. Oh,
Should be.
Util damage is fantastic.
Trust nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
Trust nothing, folks.
That's why I say should.
Trying to rock out towards long. Just trying to get a bomb plant out of this, perhaps. There's always a chance for things to get weird. slaxz finds first. Spray down. Only get a net 1. But slaxz on the scene. His USP is deadly. And slaxz picks up 3 with the sidearm. Why not? He is top of the board. Far and away.
All right, I'm going to make the pun, but slaxz is picking up the slack here
Hey.
for M80. I mean, but he really is. 19 frags on his side. He's the only player with a positive kill-to-death differential. And I mean, everyone else, look, Malb's only 6, Swisher 7, Manx is the closest to him with 10, but he's been the one to try and carry them back into this one. Even when they were losing all those rounds in that first half, he was still contributing at key moments, even if it wasn't with the op. Now he's got the big green in his hands, but Boss do have the AKs. Oh man, one more round victory for M80, and I'm gonna start being a believer in that comeback.
No, not yet, not yet. 9 is the new
Is
double
it?
digits.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like 7 makes me believe.
9 is the comeback number.
Okay, if you say so.
Yeah, because you just have to think about it in terms of like percentages, right?
I always
It's 9.
it's the numbers and it's also the emotion and psychology. I think there's a mixture.
7 is barely more than half, though,
It
right?
is,
It's
but
not.
if you're up, it's also considering M80. Sorry, no, Boss were up by so much, and you're like, oh
Sure.
man, they're at 7. It's only down by 4. We're only up by 4 now, and I think that's when like the doubt starts to seep into your mind.
Here comes the play. In towards the site they go. Freshy's got the opener. Nade sailing out. Kills on, but only one. Wreck on the scene. Wreck needs to be the guy. He's got the first. They're trying to chase him down. He's staying alive. Big play from Wreck. slaxz now on the scene, but it's all on to slaxz and mobs. Wreck did what he could. He could do no more. The bomb's going to be planted. Mob's creeping forward. Mob's creeping forward. He's got it. He's got the kill.
And the
Cryptic's
nade.
so low off of that HE, and he's trying to creep out of the smoke. The shot will land. And M80, they're not done just yet. They keep this train going.
Oh man, it felt like Boss had the advantage there going onto the site, and then slaxz and mobs pull it on back. slaxz with his 20th and 21st frags of this map. He's the only player above 20 at this point. And mobs finds one to pitch in and ensure that the round comes through, but the 7th is there. And now Boss, they look at their money and say, guys, we can't really justify fully investing here. We're going to have to go for the half buy. That means Tech 9s and P250. Body armor is there. 2 players with the head armor as well. So those are the ones, if they're alive and a gun is dropped, will likely get it thrown in their direction. slaxz, quick peek, quick frag. Brett dropped. Here they come. Trying to simplify it, but it's probably not going to work this time. Freshy only gets 1. Darty gets a second, but I mean, the trades are fantastic from M80, so no real threats.
Yeah, and yes, it's just a pistol round force buy, but getting a multi-kill out from Wreck. Look, he's a young gamer. It's a little battle tested, but you want to start to get those juices flowing. You want to start to get him activated here. It's astounding what a 2K will do to get the brain going, the trigger finger limbered up. Still time, still a lot of work to be done, but we've gone from a blowout to a game on our hands here, John.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you also got to look at this way. Rec is 5-2 in the second half, so I mean, he's looking at that saying, you know what, that's not too bad. Just ignore the first half, and in your mind, you have to. slaxz, oh, good flashbang.
He said, "Get him on CT side."
Exactly. I'm sure his team is super supportive too. Like, not getting down on him at all. M80's too good for that.
Or are they?
Well, I think so. I think
there's always different vibes in different teams.
Yeah. I feel like it's a more positive vibe.
I think, but not in this round. Wreck, no positivity. Only destruction. It's Wolfie to deliver it. The upper had gone a little quiet on the T side, but now he's back in action. And actually, where's the money at?
It's good. They can try.
Can they?
Yes.
Manx and Swisher won't have cash.
The slaxz and mobs have 6K each. They can go for this.
With that kill now, they might want to do so. Even just getting a couple more rifles off, but no, it's just Manx
now
in the clutch.
Now you pull it back, guys.
They're moving in. They're thinking about it. They're still thinking about the looks. They don't want to give up. Map point here. Nope, not going to get the first. Good damage on Cryptic. He might die to the bomb, but the chase is on, and Freshy is running slaxz down. Nades will chase him in. It's over. Map point found. Boss just need this next. They'll spread the wealth. They'll try and make this work on the fly. It should be fine.
It's fine for guns. Util, not as much as they'd want, but still decent. More than decent, I would say. M80 though. 8 rounds found. But they need 4 in a row just to push overtime. Finally, a nice little play put together there. Wolfie was the catalyst. He got a couple of quick op frags from sandbags, and after that, Boss just took control of the site. Now Brett's he gets tagged down for a little bit of damage down to 68. Freshie tucked into the corner here. It's recting into a pushing monster, but there is slaxz. Opening op frag found. Darty his victim. He's immediately pulling off that one, which is the right play. You don't need to force the issue any further. You've got that man advantage. Now just play the sites.
That's what they're looking to do. That's what they're gonna do. The boss trying to put some air into this one.
Yeah.
See if M80 will give them something back. It's very passive on the holds, right? They've got this setup. They're hoping for a short push. That's really what they're counting on. But M80, zero interest. Sit, chill, resmoke monster with 50 seconds to go. Freshie's through the smoke, though. Freshie's just straight through. Timing could be interesting here. Setting up for a swing. Freshie's right there. 2 players are through now. They didn't respect this at all. And that's the bomb confirmed. Timely flashbang, but Swisher needs a reload. He's gone to the sidearm, knowing he can't risk it. And somehow he's still alive. He's away. How on earth has Swisher survived in this scenario? Can't even put a new bullet in the gun, but the cavalry is here, and so he doesn't need
That's
to.
ridiculous.
slaxz has come in to save the day. And we're still going here. Overtime is still in the cards.
I mean, Swisher hasn't necessarily had the impact on the scoreboard, but it just goes to show you how important surviving is. Even if you don't get a frag, you keep the numbers in your favor, and Swisher falls back. He gives his team time to reinforce his position, and slaxz delivers with 2 more frags. Let your star on Overpass shine. And slaxz doing exactly that. 25 frags here. Still 3 more rounds, potentially, of regulation, assuming M80 wins the next 2. Timeout going to be called.
Here, though.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
M80.
I don't mind it. I mean, you're already down to potentially your last round.
Sure.
So
Just interesting to see what the changeup is going to be here, because presumably this is something about that previous round they didn't like, right? They got the opening pick. They want to change something about this. So let's see what we're going to get. What's going to be the shift up? What's going to be the move? You'd imagine there's intentionality behind that timeout. It's possible it's just to get them to breathe. But let's see. Let's see what we're going to do.
Looks like aggression coming through from Malbs in towards Fountain, but he has no support. I think it's just throw grenades and back off. There we go. Yeah, it's
They're
exactly
trying to run
that.
him down. They're trying to pressure him. Ooh, they were
safe.
so quick into this. Malbs perhaps fortunate to get away, but he's in the divider. There's no information on this. Everybody's here as soon as he spotted this could be disaster. And he's looking for the bathroom play. He's got the right read. Malbs going to get one. Something out of that position is good. slaxz can hang on to this from long. I think they know he's here.
Great flashes.
Brutal, but they're not looking for him. That's the bomb drop. That's confirmation. Now his teammates can get there. Freshie's found the first on the flank, but not the next.
No, what?
And it's over. 10 on the board. Just a 2-round gap at this point. M80 have drawn this within an inch. A big decision to make for Boss. Do they invest here? Do they risk it all with a loss bonus building back up?
I say yes. I say yes. You have $3,400 loss bonus, Mike. You got to go for this one. You have to. You have enough money to buy up in the next round as well, especially if you manage a bomb plant. There's no reason not to try and get the win right here. They're calling the timeout, but I mean, I feel like it's already been decided. Obviously, Darty could refund this, but I think they're going to go for it. That was, by the way, on that previous round, I think an error by Boss, because they gained that bathroom's control. Yes, you know, Malbs gets one, which, like you said, was a bit of a miracle considering the position he was stuck in. But then they don't clear long at all. Like, they just come through. The flashes were great, but they only send one player out to clear towards truck. And then the other, there's no second player to come in to try and shut down that long play. So it's a free frag for slaxz. No trade comes through. And then Boss just get slaughtered from a flank. So I don't know. And on the site itself. We'll see if they can recover from it. Yep.
slaxz wanted the early pick. This time he's backing away. Spotted the bulk of the presence coming through and says, no thank you. I think M80 were expecting to counterpunch off of the Boss pause, but it's actually the same look as last time. You gotta be careful. They don't have the canary in the coal mine that is Malbs. This could be very tough. There's no information. There's no warning until slaxz gets contact. He's fortunate there's no long presence. He might be able to bail out that way.
Again.
And did they think it was an empty site? Not
don't-
ready for the op at sign. He's been here
Guys.
repeatedly, and he's punishing them for it. Now they're very isolated. They moved up on mass, but then they spread back out. Maybe this was meant to be a fake, a feint, but slaxz has dismantled it. He has been a machine on that AWP.
Like, at least throw a flashbang for long before you send 2 players one at a time. I don't know.
Trying to catch him off guard. It's not going to happen. The Starty might have just slipped the gap. Starty might have just slipped the gap. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Big problems on. The kills are coming in, but the spray down's there for Rek. What a time to be the hero for Rek. He's done it. He's got them to just within 1. Overtime is just a hair's breadth away. And it's the much maligned Rek, the man who didn't have a single kill in the first half, who delivers it to them.
Yeah. He's 9-3 in the second half. Ignore that first half completely. That's a great spray down. Wow. Such confidence. It just takes one. It was that MP9 frag. It seemed innocuous, harmless. But now it's turned into a Rek monster again. He has finally found his rhythm. You see that Molotov's going to come in. He's peeking aggressively. Another monster. And he gets the spray down through the smoke. When things start to go well, they go extremely well for Rek.
Can't let him warm up.
He hits the nade onto Freshie. This is looking more and more like OT. I mean, look, Boss have come back from some crazy rounds, in particular on Anubis. So it's not yet signed, sealed, and delivered.
But it's not good.
No.
Remember, folks, it's never about how you start. It's about how you finish. Swisher finishing Freshie right now. And there's another one. Domino starting to fall here, just down to 2 players. Wolfie and Cryptic to try and battle this through.
That Molly's
Cryptic.
so good.
Oh, he's doing so much work. Mobs has spotted players. Got all the bodies here now. Slow. Cryptic's gone. It's all on Wolfie, and he's done. We're going to overtime. M80 have done it. 11-3 down. They battled it back all the way to take us into extra rounds.
That is unbelievable. That is truly unbelievable. That M80 beating a feat that already performed once before and under more dire circumstances last time. This time they got more rounds in that first half. Not 1, but 3. But still, it looked done after they lost that pistol. It was so well played from Boss. Thought we were going to be in for a T-side clinic and a quick one. Instead, we're in OT, and this now could end up being a 2-0 in favor of M80 instead of a map 3.
Certainly could. Certainly could.
They're just blown away.
4 rounds away from the Pro League, from returning to the ESL Pro League. Reminder, they played in the last season, season 18. A win here in overtime books them a spot in the next. What's going on here out towards long? No one's looking. No one's looking. Swisher's playing uber passive on this. Flashbang on. They need Swisher active. How? How, Manx? How? He's not even tagged. The flash must have caught.
How does he get another one through a flash?
And Manx, that wasn't even Swisher. Swisher swings, the op shot misses, and Manx gets it. This is disastrous now. It's all going from bad to worse, and there's nothing doing towards the A side of the map. You got a 2-man push out short, but they don't even have the bomb. What does it matter at this point? Look at how passive it's gone. No one wants to make the blunder. No one wants to give it up. Now they started to spot. Freshie's going to be dropped. And it all falls to Darty. Had some incredible moments so far this matchup, but it's just too much to ask. M80 pull into the lead for the first time this map.
There was a disconnect in the round. Maybe some frustration boiling over. It was an immediate reconnect afterwards. But man, oh man, this is there's nothing working right now on the T side for Boss. slaxz has been the nightmare for for Boss. Let's be clear here. 30-14. Rek woke up in the second half, so a lot of credit to him, and Manx has been consistently contributing throughout the playoffs. But it is no secret who the catalyst throughout this entirety of the comeback here. It's not over yet, but for M80 is slaxz.
Talk about justifying your signing. This
I
boost
know,
up could be
right?
huge. Darty's looking for it, right? But it's a question of whether you find Freshie or Darty first. And there's the activation. There's the first. Oh, didn't get the kills. Gotta get out of there. Can't stick around. Tons of damage. But the frag not found.
Miss.
That op shot, where'd it go? The corner ate it. slaxz realized he's tucked in. There's not an HE to unseat him. I don't believe there is one on Manx. Yeah, at this point, they've slipped away. It's the right idea, nearly the right execution, but just a few bullets missed.
Oof.
And now this one's a tough spot for M80, and Mobs is so alone.
That off shot. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
He's going to be pounced upon. They're making their moves. 40 seconds, they're already out. He has no idea, no information. He just spotted a leg. He's got the first. That's huge. Staying alive here, impossible, but he at least gives his team a chance. The short player's caught. It's even numbers now. Darty is low, but so are Manx and Swish. It's going to be a tough ask in the post.
No, slaxz is alive, so, you know, anything possible.
Through the power of slaxz, all things are possible.
Exactly.
So write that down. Nade out. Doesn't track. But Wolfie's down immediately.
That was a weird play.
It's all the bank play now. Darty far side of dice. Brett going looking down here. slaxz looking for this. So if he goes around the corner, that might just be too much. slaxz knows he's put the threat in their minds. He's just got to stay alive and let his teammates work. And it all falls down to Brett. Peeking around, but not finding the shot. Brett now going to be flanked out and from bank.
What a
slaxz
shot!
finds it. Blistering pace. Leaving flames in the wake of that flick. And M80 down, but not out in the round. Continue to string these together.
I told you, slaxz alive. I mean, he only got one frag in that situation, but it doesn't matter. He was the threat that was always in the minds of Boss, and Swisher's propensity to stay alive on CT side is truly ridiculous. It's the second time we've seen him just eat bullets and continue to move away from a fight in order to still keep the advantage for his team. Unreal stuff. 14-12. M80, if they get the 15th, will ensure at least double overtime. Nade's going to come through. Look where Brett already is. They're trying to get a faster pace going here, and that's a good idea. Freshie is going to get that headshot onto Swisher, so finally Swisher goes down.
Is that the boost? That must have been the boost. Or an info hop.
Yeah. I think it was an info hop.
That's a ripper of a shot, if so. Oh, no, it was the boost, because Freshie's taking damage as well, unless those were nades back. Either way. Important opener. Coming through from Freshie. Has been the top performer. Needs to step up if they're going to have a chance here. But as we've seen plenty of times, a man advantage means nothing.
I mean, I wouldn't say it means nothing, but it definitely can be.
It means
some,
something,
right?
John. It means something. Around the corner they go. They don't clear their corners. They don't check. Bob's able to just get one. A pressure on for Manx. The rotation has to come up just yet, but if he gets this long, no, he's not got it. Cryptic, big frag. If Manx gets that kill, he can slip out towards long, potentially stay alive for the post plant, and it makes it so much more viable for his team. As it is right now, slaxz throwing very cheeky HEs.
That's a nice
nearly
HE.
fine Freshie.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
And here we go. Retakes back. Oh, and slaxz gets another. Through the power of slaxz, all things are possible. Freshie is low. Freshie is wounded. Freshie's gone down into the bank. Cryptics going for full wraps around. They got eyes on each other. Where's the bomb planted? Oh,
What?
there's the shot.
Are you-
Now it's not planted for Freshie. They're just going to stick it. Freshie needs to make his move. He's out. He's got it. Does he have enough time? I think he's done it. I think he's done it on the clock. Freshie gets them one round, just barely. And Boss finds something out of this first period of overtime.
That is just such a key play from Freshie to push on through, trying to get the angle on the bomb diffuser, and he does find that frag and dodges the bullets of slaxz. So no slaxz magic that time, even though he gets 2 frags in the round, up to 33 now. It's an important round for Boss to find because it gives them at least a little bit of breathing room as they switch over to the side where they dominated M80 in that first half. They need a lot more of that, though. Oh, goodness me. not over. Oh, Brett, info hop, getting a little risky there. Oh, yeah, he was spotted for sure. Bullets raining on through that panel. And we're going to see a flashbang to allow Rec to go into construction. And he decides to reroute himself out of connector. Looks like a heavy A lean as of right now. You do have the lurk of Swisher towards the B side. And they could still reroute themselves. I mean, they have the choices to make here. Using a lot of util. Try and create some confusion on the boss side.
It's going to be very interesting. Cryptic's so isolated out towards long, right? Cryptic and Wolfie can't really play together, but now Cryptic starts to get activated here on this flank, so it's all about timing as Swisher comes around. Swisher holding for this. Who's got the shot? It's Cryptic this time around. Now they need to find Wolfie on the op. He's fortunate to not get punished there. Exposed angle, and he's down with no impact. What is this spot for slaxz? Looking a little odd. He's going to be turned around. Don't know what's going on there exactly, but we've got the engagement on site.
They're all
That's not a DC. Wreck, big kill, trades, gives the information. Now Maul's finding more. They're trying to get the position out towards long.
slaxz is DC'd, man.
He's DC'd. That is such an unfortunate timing on this one. They're just going to get the bomb defused, and that is a tough one. Manx was totally out of position, didn't realize what was going on, and yeah, slaxz is out of there. No, that's a really tough moment for the disconnect to come through.
Unreal. That's... Oh, my goodness. Also, I don't know if this is going to cause a problem, Mike, but an update was just released to Counter-Strike, like, literally right now. So I hope he can reconnect.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, talk about icing a comeback if that happens. Still, it is the second round in a row now for Boss. The last one comes via a crazy last-second bomb denial clutch. This one comes via a DC. So, hopefully this will be resolved quickly. He's back in, I think.
I hope so.
What was the update now? Fixed a bug where explicit weapon switches right after grenade throws were slightly delayed.
So important.
Fixed a bug where you could plant C4 in planter on Inferno.
That's kind of important. I don't think he's back, is he? Oh, he is.
He's back.
Okay, cool. Great. All right. No problems. I mean, there is a problem. They lost that previous round. They probably would have won it if slaxz was available to fight it out. 14-14 instead. Just an awful time to have a disconnect. Nothing you can do either. I mean, damage was done, so...
It is indeed. It is indeed. Just a bitter way to let that round go, but Boss are going to thank their lucky stars for that one. Look, it was no easy round regardless. We don't know how it would have played out without the DC, but would have made the post plant a fair bit easier.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially the way slaxz has been playing.
He's been their heavy hitter. He's going to try and be the initiator here again. Trying to bait out the shot towards long, spot nothing. Realizing he's got all this ground, all this real estate to rumble because Wolfie's rotating down. Thinks better of it. Still, it's Cryptic once more. Cryptic's laser focused. Oh, is he going to get cleared out?
Yep.
Cryptic spotted for nothing now. They got control of the bathrooms. Now it's panic on for Wolfie. They start to take this space. No one's moving yet on the rotate. They're expecting this to maybe be a little bit of a fake or a feint, but no, it's anything but. It's pressure on. That flashbang is lethal. Wolfie full whited, but they're not punishing him just yet. He's under pressure from both sides. There is no survival here. And eventually he will go down. It takes a lot longer than expected, but the end result is the same. A 5v3 in the post plant as M80 look to find series point. It comes down to just Darty and Freshie to try and somehow drag this back. Both coming from the same side, both coming from CT. time's now ticking. Time is their enemy. They've got a single flashbang to get back through. It's just desperation here. They need fights to be served them on a silver platter, and M80's giving them nothing. Spot on the first. The second dropped. It's all on Freshie now. Here in the clutch, here and now, nowhere to fall to, and no time, no possibility, no options.
I don't know what happened to Wolfie at all. That first half was excellent for him, and as a result, Boss got a lot of rounds. I mean, they had 9-3 advantage, and then he just completely disappeared in the second half. Now they're back on CT side. He can't hit a shot. I've watched him miss at least 8 shots here, almost in a row with the AWP. His rhythm, his movement, everything just feels off right now. What a shame. A terrible time to be inconsistent, right?
Maybe it's like Space Jam, and only Rek or Wolfie can have the energy at one time. And
Yeah.
Rek has taken it back because he's been phenomenal since the half switch.
What a reference, Mike. Love it.
Well, call them the Monstars, call them whatever you want. M80 might be making their way into Pro League off of this. One more round needed. That's all that stands between them and the grand final of this season of the ESL Challenger League. All that stands between them and the EPL berth. And you know what? I don't think they've gone B once. They found their pressure point.
They have.
They found their weak side of the map, and they just continue to up the ante.
Do you mean in overtime?
In overtime, applying the ratchets here on towards A. They've just come again and again, and Boss have not adjusted in the slightest. They haven't moved players up. If anything, they've moved Wolfie down now.
Wolfie's confidence is shot right now.
It's a tough one to be in, but see if Cryptic can get a little mojo going. Flashbang to put pressure onto him. He's back behind the divider. His Opper's not covering. It's all on Cryptic here. Can't just be a one and done, and he's not even going to get the one. He's overwhelmed. Wolfie's backed way the heck off. In the smoke, backing away. Not going to contest this at all. They're all rotating through CT. There's no one coming connector. This is a disaster for Boss. Man down, bomb planted. Freshie just now getting into the action. And again, they're all rotating the same side. Wolfie hits that shot.
I know.
I'm not even sure how he hit it, frankly. But here comes the kills. Wolfie getting a little juice going. It's down to the 2v2. But it's just on the Freshie. He's been incredible. He's got to be great here. And it's not happening. M80 are going to the next season of the ESL Pro League. M80 are your first grand finalist of Season 46. They have done it. Back-to-back stints at the top. The best the world has to offer. And they battled their way back here on